It's Eala's magical moment. Well, to the Filipina.
Have you ever seen a young player walk into a tournament packed with champions and leave after defeating almost every superstar standing in her way? That's exactly what Eala did in Washington, D.C., and by the time the final point was played, the entire tennis world had no choice but to pay attention. This wasn't just another tournament run. It became the week that transformed a rising talent into one of the most feared names on the WTA Tour. The journey started with Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen, a player known for her explosive power and relentless baseline game. Many believed Eala's incredible season would finally come to an end against such an experienced opponent, but instead, she played with remarkable composure, absorbing Zheng's pace before turning defense into attack. Every return looked sharper than the last, every rally pushed Zheng further out of her comfort zone, and when the final point arrived, the upset was complete. Before the tennis world could even process what had happened, another massive challenge appeared. Across the net stood former US Open finalist Leylah Fernandez, one of the quickest fighters on tour and a player famous for producing magic under pressure. Once again, predictions favored the established star, yet Eala refused to slow down. She attacked the second serve, dictated rallies with fearless shot-making, and displayed a level of confidence that surprised commentators throughout the match. Fernandez searched for answers, but Eala continued raising her level with every game, sealing another statement victory that had fans wondering whether something truly special was unfolding. Then came Elina Svitolina, one of the smartest and most experienced competitors in women's tennis, a player who has frustrated countless opponents with incredible defense and tactical awareness. Many expected experience to finally stop the Filipina's dream run, but Eala delivered perhaps her most mature performance yet. She mixed heavy topspin with flat winners, changed direction at exactly the right moments, and never allowed Svitolina to settle into long grinding exchanges. Every important point seemed to belong to Alex, and as the victory became official, social media exploded with disbelief. Suddenly, this wasn't just a surprise tournament anymore. Fans across the world started asking the same question: was a brand new superstar announcing herself right before everyone's eyes? But the biggest tests were still waiting, and what happened next would shock the entire tennis world even more. The momentum refused to stop there. Standing between Eala and a place in the championship match was former world number 1 Naomi Osaka, a four-time Grand Slam champion whose powerful serve and fearless ball striking have overwhelmed some of the biggest names in tennis. For many fans, this was supposed to be the moment reality caught up with the young Filipina. Instead, it became another unforgettable chapter in her incredible run. From the opening games, Eala played without fear, taking the ball early, attacking Osaka's second serve, and refusing to give the former champion any rhythm. Every time Osaka looked ready to launch a comeback, Eala answered with another fearless winner or a perfectly timed return that left the crowd roaring. The confidence on her side of the net kept growing while the pressure shifted completely onto one of the sport's biggest stars. When match point arrived and Eala completed another stunning victory, the stadium erupted because everyone realized they had just witnessed another giant fall. By now, this wasn't luck, and it certainly wasn't a one-match wonder. Within a single tournament, Eala had defeated Zheng Qinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Elina Svitolina, and Naomi Osaka, a list that looked almost unbelievable for a player still chasing her first WTA 500 title. Tennis analysts began calling her one of the hottest players on tour, while fans flooded social media with messages predicting that this was only the beginning of something much bigger. Everyone added another layer to her growing reputation, and every opponent walked away knowing they had faced a player whose confidence was reaching another level. But there was still one final mountain to climb. Waiting on championship day was the tournament's top seed, home favorite Jessica Pegula, a proven champion with the crowd firmly behind her and another DC title within reach. Most people believed Pegula's experience would finally bring the magical run to an end. They couldn't have imagined that Eala was about to produce the biggest performance of her career and turn an already unforgettable week into one of the most shocking title runs the tournament had ever seen. Championship day arrived with even more drama than anyone expected. Heavy rain forced the final to be suspended and pushed the deciding moments to the following day, creating a challenge that tested both players mentally as much as physically. Overnight breaks can completely change momentum, and many believed the delay would favor Jessica Pegula, the experienced top seed who had already won this tournament before. The American had the home crowd behind her, years of big match experience, and every reason to believe another DC trophy was within reach. But when play resumed, it became clear that Eala had returned with only one goal: to finish what she had started. She attacked from the very first point, striking returns with incredible timing and refusing to let Pegula control the baseline exchanges. Even when the top seed produced moments of brilliance, Eala answered immediately with fearless winners and remarkable composure under pressure. Commentators couldn't stop praising her aggressive mindset, calling her shot-making world-class as she continued to dictate the biggest points of the match. With every game, the belief inside the stadium shifted. Fans who had arrived expecting a routine victory for the favorites suddenly found themselves watching a young Filipina outplay one of the world's best players. Then came the unforgettable moment. Eala stepped to the line, played one final fearless point, and collapsed in celebration as the stadium erupted around her. She had defeated Jessica Pegula to capture the biggest title of her career, earning her first ever WTA 500 championship while recording another top 10 victory in an already unforgettable season. The dream of a second Washington crown for Pegula had disappeared, replaced by the arrival of a sensational new champion who had conquered one elite opponent after another. By the end of the week, Eala hadn't simply won a trophy, she had defeated Zheng Qinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Elina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and finally Jessica Pegula, completing one of the most remarkable championship runs seen in recent years. Yet the most emotional moment wasn't the trophy lift or the celebration. It came only minutes later, when Alex stepped up to the microphone, and what she said left thousands of fans inside the stadium and millions watching around the world completely speechless. As the applause echoed through the stadium, Eala walked toward the microphone with the biggest smile of her career, but instead of celebrating herself, she immediately showed the humility that has made millions of fans admire her even more. She began by congratulating Jessica Pegula for an incredible tournament and thanked her for another unforgettable battle, saying she had learned so much from sharing the court with one of the world's best players. It was a moment of pure class that instantly won even more respect from tennis fans. Then the emotions truly began to pour out. Alex turned her attention to the people who had stood beside her long before the cameras arrived. She thanked her parents, her brother, and every member of her team, calling them her inner circle and explaining that they never let her feel like she was carrying the hard work alone. She also made sure to recognize the tournament staff, the WTA medical team, and everyone behind the scenes who helped the event continue despite the difficult weather and the unusual decision to move the championship match to Monday. But the loudest cheers of the afternoon came when Alex looked into the crowd and thanked the Filipino community in Washington, the supporters back home in the Philippines, and Filipinos watching from every corner of the world. Speaking from the heart, she said she could truly feel their love and proudly ended her message with Maraming Salamat, Mga Kababayan, sending the crowd into another emotional celebration. She revealed that before the final she had received countless heartfelt messages from family, friends, and fellow players around the world. And those words reminded her that she had already achieved something unforgettable regardless of the final result. That mindset, she explained, allowed her to play freely because simply reaching her first WTA 500 final had already been a milestone she would never forget. Now she stood there holding the trophy, proving that belief, patience, and relentless hard work could overcome every obstacle. In just one unforgettable week, Eala defeated Zheng Qinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Elina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and Jessica Pegula, completing a championship run that few believed was possible. The rankings would rise, the headlines would spread across the world, and the records would be remembered for years, but perhaps the biggest message of all was this: the tennis world is no longer asking whether Eala belongs among the elite, they're asking who can stop her next. And if this incredible run is any indication, this may only be the beginning of something truly historic.